Welcome to Ministry of Mindfulness. Today we're going to talk about having depression by living in the past, having anxiety by living in the future. Good day to all of you. Whenever I gather a group together or we get together and meditate, I always open up with our meditation preamble that if you are full of depression, you are living in the past. If you're full of anxiety, you are living in the future. And I think a lot of times in our Western civilization, we think about past and the future as thoughts in our head. I think we interpret it as where we put ourselves in our minds, thinking about bad things in the past, worrying about the future. And this is very, 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 very true. I don't know if I said enough varies, so that means it's very true. That these thoughts can produce these emotions. But what nobody talks about is by dwelling and living in the past, am I physically doing that? Which is creating depression and anxiety. And what I mean by that is we have this thing in our culture where we're not supposed to bring up the past. That's my past. How dare you bring up my past? But are we still living with those behaviors, those attitudes, those precepts and concepts? Are we still dwelling in those habits where the past is not really behind us? And that's what I hope to get across with this talk for those of us searching for a way of getting past depression and anxiety, is if I am putting too much of myself in my past. Meaning, if I keep doing the same behaviors and keep doing the same things and I keep getting the same results, yes, we all know that's insanity, but that is also living in the past. See, in my mind, I'm not only thinking of, oh, I'm sad about this, or this bad thing happened, I can't get past it. Is my house clean after I lost my loved one? Do I still have that stuff around the home? Am I still using those same behaviors at when that loved one was there? Is it now time to renew myself? Is it now time to maybe have the house the way I want it? Do I still have the same dating habits that I did when I was 14? Am I 50 years old and I still think I'm 17? And this is a very real thing. I know this insults some people. For some people, this is liberating. Do I keep having those same behaviors in the past? This is why I keep having the same problems in my present and going to be in my future. Do I still talk aggressively? If I look back, all the problems I had with the way I talked aggressive, with trying to take control of a situation and trying to make things happen, well, I still have the same problems. It depresses me. It makes me dark. So am I doing the same things I did when I was 21 as when I'm 50? This is something we ignore when we talk about the past. Everyone just wants to turn it into a mental game. But physically, you may have to analyze yourself and be like, am I truly living in the past? Because the present moment, I can renew myself. The present moment presents an opportunity for me to take a step back, take a deep breath. Do I need to respond to the situation that I always have? Do I want my future to be depressive as my present and past are? Living in the present moment also means I can free myself of some of the things I keep producing in my life. One reason why we're anxious about the future is what we're doing in our present moment, which keeps creating this past that we can't keep getting over or that we can't get past. So living in the past is not just a mental thing. It's not just reminiscing about what could have been. It's not just reminiscing or being depressed about abuse. if I've been abused, did I take those behaviors with me in that abuse? One thing I notice is a lot of women that were abused when they were younger, let's say 4 and 5 years old, they have this thing where they just let things go and it'll be okay, and they kind of like have this denial thing that at 50 years old they still have this denial thing that they should have outgrown at 23, 24, 25. This is a behavior they learned by having to deny and hide their mind and kind of put their mind in a neutral place where it's okay that I'm being abused. I guess it's my fault I'm being abused. So they start denying their self. And yet at 50, we're denying stuff about a child. We're denying stuff about our job. We're denying our own emotions. We're denying a lot of problems, which is why we have so many dark days. Some of you may not have a lot of dark days because some of you may not be living in the past as much as you think you are. So again, I'm living in this denial. I'm still living in the past. Our future. Anxious about the future. Again, with our future, we're putting too much into something we don't understand where it's going to go, which can also be a result of past behaviors. Let's not get tangled up in a web here. I meet someone for the first time, and yes, the moment's great, but I have all these dreams about the future. The future is going to be good. The future is going to be great. Instead of pulling back and stopping and being like, I'm not sure where the future is going to go. I'm not sure where the situation is going to take me. We need to pull back and reserve a few things for ourselves. Instead of a new relationship giving everything about ourselves, we kind of pull back a little bit because we don't know what the future holds. We need to hold back a little bit for ourselves. Or when we start doing investments or we're excited about something, and every bit of our soul, our addictive behavior, whatever it is, has to be poured into this thing, that we don't know what it's going to bring tomorrow. And I don't want to confuse that with fear, because sometimes we do need to take risks for the future. I understand that. Sometimes we got to be careful that fear is not holding us back from doing a really good move for the future. But it's also good to have a safety net, whatever that is, financially. Not investing more in than what you can afford or live on or off of. Now listen, I know I'm talking about finances, but this is with everything. This is with a relationship. This is with decisions we're making with our kids. This is decisions we're making. Are we making those decisions according to our past immaturities? The past and the future are very much the same thing. This is why the present moment is always there, if that makes sense. So we want to look at our life like a guitar or a piano with the string finely, nicely tuned. If it's tuned too low, yes, you can play it, but if it goes way too low, it starts to kind of have like a slack sound to it. It's no longer producing tone. Too high, the string breaks. We want it tuned more so in the middle of what the string can handle. And the rest of the strings are tuned in harmony along with the guitar. So we want to look at our lives as a musical instrument. Same thing with piano. Some of the strings on the piano, a lot of people don't know this. A grand piano, sometimes there's 2 or 3 strings to produce the one tone. That's why sometimes when you play piano, it has like a weird chorusy, kind of weird wavery tone, because several of those strings are, one's a little higher, one's a little lower, so it has almost like a weird underwater robotic sound. And this is our life. Part of us is tuned this way, and the other part of us is tuned so tight. We're anxious about the future because we're not taking care of our past in this present moment. So we also got to be careful of the concept of living in the present moment, because sometimes the present moment we can get very lazy. I take a deep breath, I'm enjoying the sunshine, everything's great, I'm just going to let things go, which is amazing. And we teach that here at the Ministry of Mindfulness. But we're also not correcting our past to be able to correct our present, to make sure, or to correct our future, to make sure our present is tuned correctly. Because again, it's the Western mind that sometimes it's a mistake to be in the present moment or have the concept of the present moment, because it teaches us, again, denial, which means 2 hours from now I'm going to be full of anxiety. But let's not make this too complicated, because I know some of us with erratic addictive behaviors or in lots of anxiety, our mind can go everywhere. So we start with the present moment. Maybe take a journal, start writing down the things today that we can take charge of and control of. The things we can't control or take charge of, we set that aside. In this present moment, I can start to fix how I react to things. I can start to say no to certain things that keep getting me in trouble. I can take a second thought, and for tonight, I'm not going to go out and get myself in any more problems. The date where I know it's not going to end good, but the person is so hot, I can go ahead, I can pull back and say no. Because I can't keep doing this to myself. I can't keep developing this horrible future and then be depressed about the past. I want my present moment very peaceful. That's what's important about the present moment, because right now I can take care of those things. Right now I can go see my daughter if I've been ignoring her. Not in the future. I can't go back and change things. Right now I can start to do this. For some issues, easier said than done. But do we want to keep creating a future of havoc, chaos, that we have a big pile of depression waiting for us? So we're anxious to get there. Now that we're there, we're dragging the weights with us. We're gathering more weights. We're putting more weights on our back. We're putting more weights on our head. Anyways, let's keep it simple today. That's what I wanted to offer today, is the thoughts of living in the past, the present, and the future. To recap, it's not just thoughts. It's my actions that's keeping me in the past. It's my actions that's creating anxiety in the future. Let's come in the present moment, and let's decide what we can change, control, or let go of today. Remember, progress, not perfection. It doesn't have to happen completely tonight, next week, or next year. If all we do is just take a few things at a time just to give us relief, then those few things are worth it. Anyways, if this helped you, please like, subscribe, and share. We are having an extremely difficult time with the YouTube algorithm. It is just not pushing out the videos. I have other projects where the videos are being pushed out like crazy, but for some reason this channel keeps hitting dead space. Anyways, again, thank you for tuning in to Ministry of Mindfulness, and I will see you again.